Hey everybody, this is Karen. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the species Binturong. Fascinating species. When I first came across it, its scientific name is Arcticus binturong, or aka the bearcat, which as you can see from the picture, and this is actually from our zoo, they do not resemble a bear or a cat. A little bit about our park that I'm looking at and using as my resource for this study is Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park, located in Tampa Bay here. Their mission, as you can read there, is to rescue, rehabilitate, and care for animals, create that exceptional personalized experience to connect people with the wildlife. And they have one-on-one experiences. They have safaris. They have very, very knowledgeable keepers that spend a lot of time training these animals, but also and working with them, but also ensuring that people have a better understanding and appreciation for these animals. So what are the 5 domains? We know we've studied it this whole course. Nutrition is one, physical environment is one, health and environmental, behavioral interaction, and mental or affective state. And these 5 factors together really determine that animal's welfare and their ability to survive and thrive in that environment. So the 5 domains for the Binturong, nutrition, okay. The zoo, I was fascinated by this. I actually got a chance to work in there. It has a fully staffed commissary whose sole purpose is to prepare the meals for all the animals in the property. And so these guys are really considered to be carnivores, but in fact they really are omnivores. So they take special care in making sure that not only do they get the proper amount of proteins and meats, but they also get a good variety of fruits, vegetables, and other foods to ensure that nutritional needs are met. As far as the environment, our enclosure at the zoo is closed on 3 sides with the front open for visitors to observe. This is great because it actually gives the animals a chance to, if they want to kind of disappear or hide or perch in a tree somewhere, they don't have to be surrounded by people at all times. So it gives them that time and opportunity to get that rest and manage their encounters with the people. Physical health, they have suspended logs and branches, which are ideal for climbing. Not only do these particular species use their legs, but they also use their prehensile tail. They're one of 2 mammals that actually has a prehensile tail, which allows them to hang by that tail and to climb using that tail. So the way that the branches and trees are set up allow them to do that. Key part of their physical health is these animals are arboreal, which basically means that they spend a lot of time in trees, but unique to them, they can't go from tree to tree to tree like some species do. In order to go from one tree to the next tree, they actually have to go climb down that one tree and climb up that second tree. So the tail helps them in a lot of that, and the way the zoo has their enclosure set up for physical health really enhances that capability that they have. For mental health, they use targeting, as well as placing treats along the enclosure for enhancements for them to do their hunting and foraging, which again are 2 skills that the Binturong possesses. And then last but not least, the domain of behavior. So they have a lot of tubes for them to climb through. They have water to allow them swimming and diving, because in the wild they would actually hunt for fish. And as we all know, all of these domains work together to create an environment that supports the overall well-being and welfare, and in this particular case of the Binturong at our zoo. So one of the things that I was concerned about with the Binturong, and this came from a lot of the research that I looked at, is for the animals' well-being, and it's actually a concern that presents not only for our zoo, but unfortunately it's a common concern for most zoos, is reproduction. As you can imagine, one of the things that zoos do is have reproduction of these animals mating so that they can help that species survive. And if these animals don't reproduce in this environment, how do we sustain that population? So obviously we need to understand their mating and reproductive patterns in order to support their needs. And what I read through the research is that there's a few key factors that include their enclosure and the setup, the food and diet that they have, and support of their natural behaviors. All of those help improve mating and reproductive success. So what is our mitigation plan? First of all, we need to understand and address those key areas, looking closely at their enclosure size. They need enough space to be able to, by tendency, they tend to be solitary animals. However, they do need space to be able not only to use those skills of climbing from tree to tree, but also to be able to use their tail and do the hunting and things that they need to do. So enclosure size and design are really critical in that piece. The enclosure enrichment, again, allowing them opportunities to hunt and do the things that they would do if they were out in their natural environment. Ensuring that we have a balanced diet. Nutrition, just as it is critical for us, for our well-being, is vital for these animals as well, to ensure a balanced diet, to ensure that they're as healthy as they can be, to encourage, again, those behaviors of reproduction. And we want to make sure they have a variety of dietary sources. If you ate the same thing every day, you would get tired of that. So how do you find things that they like, that are nutritionally sound for them, as well as keep their interest? And then again, what's really critical is understanding their behavior patterns. When are they active? When are they not active? When do they sleep? Are they nocturnal? These guys are nocturnal, and their primary behavior actually turns out to be more in the mornings and in the late nights. So how do we support that behavior and the other things that they do? So that was our mitigation plan, to ensure that we had the proper enclosure size to support our animals, enclosure design to ensure that it highlighted their characteristics and things that they enjoy doing and are part of that natural environment, as well as have that enrichment so that they can hunt and fish and do the things that they would normally do. And again, go from the tree to tree to do the things that they do. The balanced diet, as we talked about, that variety of dietary choices, as well as enhancing and encouraging their behavior activity that's there by allowing them periods of sleep when they would normally sleep. These are the references that I used in my study, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, the Binturong, aka Bearcat.